So last class we did mantra 4 we finished, right? So today we will do mantra 5 and 6 we will cover today. So we'll go through very fast because many of the concepts we have already discussed. So Isopanisad is going to be very fast. So I'll rather you all give more points based on your realizations. Okay? So most of the stuff we have covered like that. So please participate and give points from your end. Mantra 5. The Supreme Lord walks and does not walk. He is far away, but he is very near as well. He is within everything, and yet he is outside of everything. Let's quickly go paragraph by paragraph.
Here is a description of some of Supreme Lord's transcendental activities exhibited by his inconceivable potencies. The contradictions given here prove the inconceivable potencies of the Lord. He walks and he does not walk. Ordinarily, if someone can walk, it is illogical to say he cannot walk. But in reference to God, such a contradiction simply serves to indicate his inconceivable power. With our limited fund of knowledge, we cannot accommodate such contradictions, and therefore we conceive of the Lord in terms of our limited powers of understanding. For example, the impersonalist philosophers of the Mayavad school accept only the Lord's impersonal activities and reject his personal features. But the members of the Bhagavad school, adopting the perfect conception of the Lord, accept his inconceivable potencies and thus understand that he is both impersonal and impersonal. The Bhagavatas know that without inconceivable potencies, there can be no meaning to the word Supreme Lord. We should not take it for granted that because we cannot see God with our eyes, the Lord has no personal existence. Sri Isopanisad refutes this argument by declaring that the Lord is far away but very near also. The abode of Lord is beyond the material sky, and we have no means to measure even this material sky. If the material sky extends so far, then what to speak of the spiritual sky, which is altogether beyond it? That the spiritual sky is situated far, far away from the material universe is confirmed in the Bhagavad. But despite the Lord's being so far away, he can at once, within less than a second, descend before us with a speed swifter than that of the mind or wind. He can also run so swiftly that no one can surpass him. This has already been described in the previous verse.
Okay. So what are the points here?
Paragraph 1 talks about the personalism and in fact establishes the Supreme Lord, meaning of the Supreme Lord in one sense. And the next one talking about his potencies in terms of inconceivable potencies.
The Lord is the Supreme Lord because we cannot conceive him. Because if we can conceive with our knowledge or understanding, then he cannot be supreme. And also it is said that he is near and far as well in terms of, for example, he is near in terms of his deity form, he can be very near to us, and his name itself as well. And at the same time he is in Golok Vrindavan as well. So that way we understand he is near and far at the same time.
Prabhupada has explained in many lectures in his initial days that the speed of the mind is very faster than anything else when he always compares with the normal American scientists, right? So in that connection he has also said that the supremacy of the Lord is always greater and he can do to that fast. That's what he is again comparing to. Comparing with the Arjuna's verse in Bhagavad Gita of the turbulence and the wind, power of the wind.
Can I elaborate what you're saying?
I mean, Srila Prabhupada used to say in his lectures that power of wind is faster in terms of navigating. Just by thinking, you can, is very less, but the power of mind is very high, that just by thinking you can sit in the America, sitting in America, you can be in India for the next second. So that first or more than that is what Supreme Lord is. So he was trying to establish the supremacy of the Lord in initial days. So he was using this analogy.
Good point. Mataji, come and be comfortable in the class.
Yeah.
If you keep going in and out, become disturbing. Come and children are also will get settled soon, and then you will also get settled.
So the point was like, even if you travel in that speed of the mind, you will not be able to reach the spiritual sky. He was concluding that.
Yeah. So, anything else?
Differentiation of how Mayavadis they understand these contradictions and how devotees understand the apparent contradictions. So that is also there.
Okay. Anything else? Mataji, you are not silent.
Mayavadis do not have access to Srimad Bhagavatam, so they do not know that Supreme Lord is a person. So they always believe it as their impersonal. But devotees who take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam know that both the impersonal feature and personal feature, the Lord has both impersonal and personal.
So if you have to summarize in one line, if you have to give one line to this whole thing, you have to explain in one line to a new people.
Lord can do anything. Lord can do anything.
Superstar.
What is the theme?
Beyond sense perception.
Can you expand on that? You're right.
Because the start is that Lord can walk and not walk at the same time. So what it's saying is that with the given sense perception.
So what is walk and not walk? If someone can walk and the same person cannot walk, what kind of a flaw is it?
Logical.
Correct. So therefore complete now. What is the essence of this whole thing?
Lord is beyond logic.
Correct. The Lord cannot be understood by material logic. Cannot be understood by material logic. Okay. Now why is the Mayavad conception coming here? Why is Prabhupada quoting Mayavadi suddenly?
Why is
Prabhupada quoting Mayavadis here suddenly?
Because they are limited with their logics.
walking and talking?
Because they try to understand Lord through which process?
Negations.
Anuman Praman.
Anuman Praman.
Right? By speculative process, which involves lot of logic.
Logics.
Right? So therefore the central point here is the Lord cannot be understood by logic, which also means what? It means that in devotional life everything is not about logic. Everything is not about being logical all the time. In devotional life there are things which are beyond logic, because the principle of love itself is beyond logic.
Example.
Love. That's what I'm saying. The principle of love is beyond logic. Do you understand? You have not seen any Bollywood movies?
No.
Huh?
No.
They say that.
Tamil movies, yes, okay.
Huh? Any movie, Bollywood, Tollywood. What they say is that love is beyond.
Huh?
Do you go logically and love a person? Logically, I think that you don't do like that, right? It just, you don't know. Right? So, the whole Krishna consciousness process is based on the principle of love. So, the whole movement is one of love. There is no room for logic here. So, we cannot understand the Lord by logic. We can only understand the Lord by love, by loving devotional service. We cannot understand the Lord unless we what?
No.
Unless we love Him. Simple. It's very simple. Because when we love Him, and how do we know that how do we show our love for Him?
Doing service.
By devotional service. By unalloyed devotional service. Not alloyed devotional service. Right? Right now our devotional service is
Completely aligned.
completely tainted, alloyed with so many things. We have a lot of expectations out of our devotional service. At least we need a pat on our back. It's not anything else. Suppose we make khichdi, then we ask people, khichdi kaisa tha? Aapne banaya? Haan, Prabhu. Vaishnava Seva. So at least subtly we want to indicate that I have cooked the khichdi. Okay? And then be very humble in front of everyone. So we want appreciation. Sometimes when we dress the deities, then we want to find out, आज dressing कैसा लगा? क्यों आज आपने किया है dressing? हाँ.
Garland.
How was the garland? Something like that. Okay. So always that is required. Of course, that's natural. Sometimes it's natural, but then sometimes it's natural to expect that. It's an innocent expectation in one sense. But many a times we get angry if we are not appreciated. We get angry if we are not appreciated in our services. So our devotional life is alloyed, but unalloyed devotional service means that
Pleasure of the Lord.
yeah, and you don't even know that you don't even know that you're doing it for the pleasure of the Lord. A mother doesn't breastfeed the baby for the pleasure of the baby. She doesn't say for the pleasure of the child. Then I am expected to, in an unalloyed manner, feed breast milk to my child as an expression of milk. Does mother use all this logic?
No.
She just automatically picks up the child and feeds the child. And she doesn't expect that one day I am feeding this child, one day this child will feed me in my old age. Mother doesn't have any such expectation. So Prabhupada says that the closest in the material world that comes to we loving Krishna is the love of a mother for her son or daughter. Right? That is the closest in the material world that it can get. So there is no logic there. Right? The child is waking up, who will wake up first? Mother will be sleeping and the father will wake up. Who wakes up first? Mother. Even at the night, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 10 times, nappy changing. So that is the love of a mother. So it's unalloyed. So now we use it for Krishna. So when a devotee is serving Krishna like this, the devotee doesn't even philosophize, saying that, Prabhuji, I have come to the platform of unalloyed devotional service to the Lord. No, he or she wouldn't even say that, because the love itself is there. He says, what devotional service? I am not doing any service at all. Okay, suppose I ask, have you done service to Riya today, Mataji? What is your answer? Prabhu, I never thought that I am serving my daughter, Prabhu. I was just feeding her, I was just doing things. I never realized that I am serving my daughter. Who will talk like that? Which mother will say, I am serving my daughter, Prabhu? Like that. But as long as we say I am serving Krishna, that means it's not unalloyed. It's not spontaneous. When जब spontaneous है तो पता ही नहीं चलेगा क्या हो रहा है. You are just so much, you're just like natural, normal. Krishna is mine. Krishna is mine. It's like that. I am Krishna's and Krishna is mine. That feeling is called as unalloyed devotional service. Right? It's very difficult for us to understand what is unalloyed devotional service, but this is just a mundane example for us to relate to, that we will not even know. Right now, tomorrow, for example, if you have to come for Mangalarati, the first thing is the tension comes. Kitna baje soyenge yaar? Whether alarm go and then at 3:25 you're praying. Not now, another 5 minutes. And then the alarm rings, kick, and then you put it on snooze for 5 minutes and say, why is this devotional life so difficult? Why Mangalarati was not kept at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning? So we could all have Mangalarati. So when we think like this, that means there is a problem. That means spontaneously love is not there, because there is struggle. As long as we are struggling, then there is no love. A mother doesn't struggle to love her child. Mother doesn't struggle to love the child. It comes naturally. And the endeavor of a mother towards her child is very enjoyable. It's not even something where mother is feeling the pain like that. So that is what is pure love. So Lord Krishna can be only understood if we are able to love him in that way. Okay? Now how he is understood? When we start loving him this way, what will happen? He will reveal himself to us. So we can understand the Lord only when he chooses to reveal himself to us. We cannot understand by any other way. We cannot say, now I have completed 50th anniversary of chanting 16 rounds. Oh Lord, please remove your Hiranyamayana Pattarana and reveal your form to me. He will not go by statistics, logic. I have done big projects for you, my dear Lord. So many Bhakti Vrikshas, so many, whatever. You can't go by all this logic. It will not work with him. Even if you don't do anything, if you simply love him, he will reveal himself. You would have done nothing, but you would have just loved him, that's all. And even after doing all these big projects or whatever, big temple construction, this, that, we may still not love him. Love for the Lord will be shown how?
How we deal with others.
in how we deal with other devotees. Okay? And that is true for each and every devotee that we deal with. There is no exception over there. It's not that I love the Lord, it's only this devotee, when there is a problem. No, it doesn't work like that. Okay. When we love the Lord, we will love each and every devotee. So if we have problems with devotees, we have to understand that we are not yet developed love for the Lord. So in every situation, if we are dealing with love and affection, then Krishna will ensure that He is on our decision. He will give us the intelligence. He has to give us the intelligence also by which we could deal lovingly in a situation which is otherwise challenging. So in devotional life is beyond black and white, as much as the Lord Himself is, cannot be bound with any material logic. So the Lord cannot be understood through material science or through material logic. So that is the primary point that is coming out here. And the Mayavadis try to understand the Lord through speculative logic and through the medium of material science. Therefore they cannot understand the Lord. We cannot understand the Lord like that. Unless we have a loving heart, the Lord is not going to reveal Himself to us. As someone said, our heart must be as soft as butter so that Krishna can come and steal our heart. Okay. It has to be as soft as butter. If it is rigid like a stone, knock, no. He is not going to come. Okay. He might have done big projects. Doesn't matter. Nowhere Lord Krishna has said, the person who does the most projects is the most dearest to me. In which verse has He said like that in Bhagavad Gita? Nowhere He has said like that. Right? So, in Bhakti, more than achievement oriented, we become love oriented. Okay. In office, it's a different issue. In office, it's not about love. In office, it's about achievement. But even I have seen in office also, if we deal with love never fails anywhere. Even in office, love doesn't fail. 100% it doesn't fail. Go and ask a colleague who was not well, how's your health now? And see how your relationship is after that. It's a simple thing you are asking, right? Go and give medicine to somebody. Say that I have brought 3 days se theek rehte, I have got this medicine for you. And see how the relationship immediately improves. So love works everywhere. But logic doesn't work in spiritual life. So Lord is beyond all logic. Alright, so Mataji wants to read. Yet from there. Who wants to read? Kavya Mataji, you want to read?
Yet when the personality of Godhead comes before us, we neglect Him. Such foolish negligence is condemned by the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita 9.11, where He says that the foolish deride Him, considering Him a mortal being. He is not a mortal being, nor does He come before us with a body produced of material nature. There are so many so-called scholars who contend that the Lord descends in a body made of matter, just like an ordinary living being. Not knowing His inconceivable power, such foolish men place the Lord on an equal level with ordinary men. Because He is full of inconceivable potencies, God can accept our service through any sort of medium, and He can convert His different potencies according to His own will. Non-believers argue either that the Lord cannot incarnate Himself at all, or that if He does, He descends in a form of material energy. These arguments are nullified if we accept the existence of the Lord's inconceivable potencies. Then we will understand that even if the Lord appears before us in the form of material energy, it is quite possible for Him to convert this energy into spiritual energy. Since the source of the energies is one and the same, the energies can be utilized according to the will of their source. For example, the Lord can appear in the form of the Acharya, a deity, supposedly made of earth, stone or wood. Deity forms, although engraved from wood, stone or other matter, are not idols, as the iconoclasts consider. In our present
No. What are the points?
people deride the Lord and they put the Lord at equal level as the ordinary man because they don't have the experience to see things. And,
How do foolish men put the Lord on an equal footing? Connecting the paragraphs.
they,
Logical.
By thinking he is made of material.
Correct. I'm impressed, bro. For the first time, I think, 10 years. But it's good. Though you came very late, that's okay. I saw you speak till. Don't think I don't know what time you came in Bhagavad. Okay. Okay. So, by saying that the Lord,
when he comes to the
when he comes down into this material world, when the impersonal Supreme Brahman comes into this material world, it assumes a material form because Brahman comes in contact with three modes of material nature. Nirguna Brahman comes in contact with Pradhan or Mahat Tattva and becomes Sagun. Therefore, it adopts qualities of three modes of material nature: Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. And that form sometimes comes as Krishna, sometimes comes as Rama, sometimes comes as Ganesh, sometimes comes as Shiva, sometimes comes as Kali. So this is nonsense philosophy. Okay. This is called as Mayavadi philosophy. This is bogus, completely bogus. Okay. If Brahman can be subjugated by the three modes of material nature, then even Brahman is not superior. That means the three modes of material nature are superior to Brahman. Right? So there is a logical, even by logic there is a logical flaw in the Mayavad philosophy. Right? Whereas that's why Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, I am the source of Brahman. Brahmano hi pratishtha hi aham. Okay. So I am the source and foundation of Brahman. So and whenever the Lord comes down, he doesn't come down through the way in which we come down. The Lord comes down by his own sweet will. He doesn't come down not knowing where he will be born. The Lord doesn't come out and say, why was I born in Vrindavan? I had no control. I wish I was born in Australia. He doesn't lament like us. So that there is no PR or no application required. Right? So the Lord is Aja. Aja means unborn. And the Lord is Swarat. Swarat means independent. He is completely independent. He is not dependent on the modes of material nature. He is not subjugated by the three modes of material nature, nor is he subjugated by the rules and regulations or the constitution by which this material world is governed. He is not subjugated by anything like that. So when the Lord comes, he may say, I take a vow that I will not kill anyone in this battlefield. And then he may break his vow. Somebody may say, this is not correct. Lord has taken a vow. But who is the source of morality?
Lord himself.
He himself. Okay. So he cannot be judged by those laws. Right? He is beyond the laws of material nature because he is the lawmaker. So he has given some laws for the conditioned souls. It doesn't mean, it applies to him also when he comes. Like that. For example, if in a jail, the rule is that there should be no ghee on the chapatis. It may apply for the prisoners, but it will not apply for the Inspector General of Prisons. When he comes, he may get from Rajdhani Hotel, he may get nice thali also, with lot of ghee on top of it. He cannot say, abhi jail mein aaya hai, so jailer ke jaisa ho. Not necessary. He is beyond the rules. Like that. Even in material world, we see some examples of that. So though the IG President himself might have made that law that nobody will be served ghee in the jail. But when he comes, he may have ghee. You cannot say how you are having because you are criminal. That's why. That's why it's not applicable to you. So we are all come here because of our karma. But he comes here for what purpose? For three purposes. What are the three purposes? Out of which Yesha Prabhu was mentioning in the last class, which is the most important. He comes only to please his devotees and to entice them to come back to spiritual world. So he has no other business. He comes here No? Through his Naam Madhurya, Rupa Madhurya, Venu Madhurya and Leela Madhurya. Leela Madhurya and Prema Madhurya. So through these four manifestations of his potencies, then he tries to attract us and take us out of this material world.
Krishna comes for, he wants to give pleasure to his devotee, but Bhaktivedanta. That is the only purpose.
Yeah, that is the only purpose.
Bhaktavatsala was mentioned by Krishna Prabhupada.
Yeah, the Lord's main purpose is Bhaktavatsal. Bhaktavatsal means the protector of his devotees. It doesn't only mean save the devotee from coming under the trap. People usually think like that. Lord is a protector. It means he comes and protects us from the repeated cycle of birth. Though we may get some slaps also in this material world occasionally. One bandage here and there. Definitely possible. Right? But he comes, protection, we have to understand the Lord's protection. Okay. So, Prabhupada says that the Lord is, the Lord can appear in the form of Archa Vigraha, a deity which is supposedly made of stone, material elements. Okay? But if he wants, if the Lord enters that apparent material thing can become spiritual. That is why we do Prana Pratishtha, to spiritualize an apparently material thing. And Prabhupada says that although engraved from wood, stone or other matter, they are not idols as the iconoclastic people say. Who is an iconoclast? What is a iconoclast? Means Atarang. Atarang means Vichitra Manus. English mein, someone who is an iconoclastic artist is one who is completely different. He's Vichitra Manus. He's unique. He is different than the others. People who are again, if I say Bohemian,
Who rejects
too much English class I have done.
Common beliefs. Who rejects
Who is not conventional, simple, unconventional, who challenges orthodoxy. Such a person is what? Iconoclast. So what these people are saying, who is Prabhupada referring to? The Mayavadis and the atheists. Okay? Because they are challenging that order which has come from disciplic succession. Right? So when you challenge that without anything, then Prabhupada is calling them as iconoclasts. Okay, so who wants to read some? Prabhuji this side now. Padingo. Padingo.
In our present state of imperfect material existence, we cannot see the Supreme Lord due to imperfect vision. Yet those devotees who want to see Him by means of material vision are favored by the Lord, who appears in a so-called material form to accept His devotees' service. One should not think that such devotees who are in the lowest stage of devotional service are worshipping an idol. They are actually worshipping the Lord, who has agreed to appear before them in an approachable way. Nor is an archa form fashioned according to the whims of the worshipper. This form is eternally existent with all paraphernalia. This can be actually felt by a sincere devotee, but not by an atheist. In Bhagavad Gita 4.11, the Lord says that how He treats His devotees depends on the devotee's degree of surrender. The Lord reserves the right not to reveal Himself to anyone and everyone, but to show Himself only to those souls who surrender unto Him. Thus, for the surrendered soul, He is always within reach, whereas for the unsurrendered soul, He is far, far away and cannot be approached.
Okay. Any points?
Lord reserves a right to reveal Himself.
He cannot be forced to reveal Himself. They are seen in movies, no? भगवान तू है तो मेरे सामने आ, मेरे सामने आए वो क्या है वो ये बात दिखलाए वो कौन सा गाना है वो? There was one movie I remember, Rishi Kapoor, long time, सरगम ये सामने आए वो ये विश्वास दिलाए वो, like that there was one line in one song. Okay, so it doesn't work like that. And we have seen all these, no? From Bollywood we understand the hero is ringing the bell like this and saying that if you are there, you come in front of me. The Lord is not obliged to come just because you are ringing the bell like that. Lord doesn't come because of bell ringing. So Prabhupada said in ISKCON, what is our bell? And tongue is vibrated with the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And by that Mahamantra, then our heart is purified, and then that is the way of calling the Lord. In 4.11, the Lord is saying, the way you treat me, I will also treat you. If you treat me seasonally, I will come seasonally only. When you are in danger, that time I will say, abhi time nahi hai, baad mein aata hu. After, when the season comes, I will come. Right? We want the Lord to always be there with us. But we don't always want to be with the Lord. That is our problem. Which means what? We don't want to obey whatever He is. We want to invent our own way of doing devotional service. And so that it's a feel-good philosophy. I am feeling very good. I went somewhere, I went to Malai, I came, I am feeling very nice now. That's all. Now I can do any damn thing I want. Because till last year, whatever financial year, fiscal year sins have gone away. In this fiscal year. We sometimes have these kind of thoughts in our mind. That is a big problem. Okay, so Prabhupada is saying that the Lord reserves the right to reveal Himself to only those people who are truly surrendered. Truly surrendered means we should truly want to see the Lord. Like George Harrison in that song, what is that famous song? Oh my sweet Lord. What does he say? I only want to see you. Right? That's what he keeps on saying. The whole song is about I only want to see you. No, he keeps on saying that, right? I only want to be with you. Like that. So, of course, that's a song. Maybe George Harrison wanted to sing. That's why Prabhupada blessed him so much. But that should be our desire. That our desire should be to be with Him. The problem is we don't sincerely desire to go back to God. We are not really looking for Him. We are also looking for Him. We are not looking only for Him in our lives. We want so many other things also in our life. And we are also looking for Him. Like that. On a part-time devotees. So that is our problem. So if we are part-time devotees, He will also reveal Himself only in part and parcel. Very slowly, aram se He will do it. Because we also don't want Him to reveal too fast. Because when He reveals Himself, our material enjoyment will be gone. Right? And we cannot tolerate that idea also. That our material enjoyment will be gone. Just imagine if you are told every day of your life you should come for Mangalarti from tomorrow. How many of you will jump with ecstasy out of that? If you are given that blessing. I give you the blessing that every day you will come at 4:30 you will be in the temple for Mangalarti. You will say weekend mein bhi aana padega kya? Right? So sometimes we don't want dangerous
devotees who like that.
I am talking about myself. I am not talking about myself. Every time when I talk all these things, who I am talking about? Listen, I am not talking about anyone else. I am also deriving, you are also one of them inside like that, every day Mangalarti. But I am not on that platform. So my mind tells me one day is good enough. No, one day is rest. Now there is one more advanced devotee. Who is only saying that one day is rest day. So look at me where I am. I am saying one day is good enough. Problem is here. So people like me cannot be called as. There is no desire. There is no desire. Even one day, we say, Bhagwan ko hisab bataya. One day in a week you have gone. You are showing account to the Lord that I have come one day. So I only want to see you. So when the heart is flowing like that towards the Lord, then the Lord will reveal Himself. But how will we develop that consciousness? By only associating with devotees who have developed that. There is no other way it will come. More and more we associate only between Changu and Mangu. If both of them are not self-realized, both will stagnate for years. Both will stagnate. So we have to come beyond Changu and Mangu and then interact with more devotees who are more advanced than us. That has to be done. There is no other way. Otherwise we will not progress in our life. We will just be where we are. Right? Worst is that after some time Changu and Mangu will also have some misunderstandings. Changu's son hit Mangu's son. Mangu was not happy. Changu is not understanding. Changu is protective about his own son or daughter. You know, those kind of problems also come after some time. So Changu Mungu also then drift apart. Like that. So there is always requirement in our lives to seek higher association. There is no
relationship. We don't have Krishna in the center, like if we are having relationship just for our advantage or without this.
True, yes. It will not work. Such a relationship will not stand the test of time. Somewhere it will break. Because the true agenda will come out at some point in time. And the real agenda comes out only in trying circumstances. When everything is very nice, it will not come out. When everything is nice, then everyone looks like a pure devotee of the Lord. The whole world is like Vaikuntha. Like Radhanath Swami Maharaj says, our devotion is only tested in trying circumstances. Otherwise it is not tested at all. Alright. In this connection, who wants to read? Who is that? Okay.
In this connection, two words the revealed scripture often apply to the Lord. Saguna with qualities and Nirguna without qualities are very important. The word Saguna does not imply that when the Lord appears with persuasive qualities, he must take on the material form and be subject to the laws of material nature. For him, there is no difference between the material and spiritual energies, because he is the source of all energies. As the controller of all energies, he cannot at any time be under their influence, as we are. The material energy works according to his direction. Therefore, he can use that energy for his purposes without ever being influenced by any of the qualities of that energy. In this sense, he is Nirguna without qualities. Nor does the Lord become a formless entity at any time, for ultimately he is the eternal form, the primeval Lord. His impersonal aspect of Brahman effulgence is but the glow of his personal rays, just as the sun's rays are the glow of the sun god.
So Prabhupada is here saying that just because it is mentioned Sagun, Sagun, yes, the Lord is Sagun, Sakar and Nirgun, Nirakar, both. But Sagun does not mean influenced by material qualities. Sagun means the Lord has got many transcendental qualities. He's got infinite transcendental qualities. So, the word gun here has to be understood. It's not the gun which we are talking about, which is coming from Prakriti. Not that gun. These are all transcendental, because Lord's qualities are transcendental, they are not material. But because logicians are only used to seeing material qualities, then they attribute those material, they try to understand the Lord through those material qualities. So when the Lord is fighting with, telling Arjuna to fight and kill the Kauravas, they think, "Ye kya Bhagavan hai?" Bhagavan means everything should be peaceful. Sarva sukhena bhavantu. Everything should be nice and peaceful. Because they are trying to see the Lord through their own lens. Okay? They cannot understand what is dharma yuddha. They cannot understand the mood of the Lord. Or when Lord Krishna and Bhishma are fighting, they cannot understand what is the mood exchange. They can neither understand Bhishma's mood nor they can understand Lord Krishna's mood. So the logicians cannot understand the qualities of the Lord. Qualities of the Lord can only be understood by one who is performing devotional service, because then the Lord blesses that person with all the qualities of the divine. So our demonic qualities go down and divine quality starts manifesting, and then our intelligence gets purified. When the intelligence gets purified, then we start understanding the Lord to some extent, to the extent that we have surrendered. Ye yathamam prabodhini. To that extent we can understand the Lord. To that extent he will reveal himself to us. Okay, go read further. Someone else wants to read. Mataji, who is a fast reader? Yashoda Prema. Okay, go for it. Little bit fast read. Little loudly also.
When the child Saint Prahlad Maharaj was in the presence of his atheist father, his father asked him, "Where is your God?" When Prahlad replied that God resides everywhere, the father angrily asked whether his God was within one of the pillars of the palace, and the child said yes. At once the atheist king shattered the pillar in front of him to pieces, and the Lord instantly appeared as Nrsimha, the half-man, half-lion incarnation, and killed the atheist king. Thus, the Lord is within everything, and He creates everything by His different energies. Through His inconceivable powers, He can appear at any place in order to favor His sincere. Sincere devotee. Lord Nrsimha appeared from within the pillar, not by the order of the atheist king, but by the wish of his devotee Prahlad. An atheist cannot order the Lord to appear, but the Lord will appear anywhere and everywhere to show mercy to his devotee. The Bhagavad Gita 4.8 similarly states that the Lord appears in order to vanquish non-believers and protect believers. Of course, the Lord has sufficient energies and agents who can vanquish atheists, but it pleases Him to personally favor a devotee. Therefore, He descends as an incarnation. Actually, He descends only to favor His devotees and not for any other purpose.
Okay. So what are the points here?
The devotee, he comes. It's only because of the devotees the Lord is incarnating. Otherwise, for the evil demonic people, we can do it at any time, anywhere, in any means.
Also, the point is the Lord is everywhere. Ito Narsingha, Parato Narsingha, Yato Yami, Tato Narsingha. So, Gaurang Prabhu was telling in one of the class, it is not that, the Lord went into the pillar and then manifested out of the pillar. Just because Hiranyakashipu prove a point to Hiranyakashipu. No, it was not like that. Neither did the Lord come because Hiranyakashipu challenged. Hiranyakashipu challenge was like that. Is your Lord here? He asked. Show me then. Like that. This is almost like the same Bollywood song. मेरे सामने आए वो ये विश्वास दिलाए वो. Which means I don't believe you. But if you want me to believe you, you come in front of me right now. This is the same Hiranyakashipu mentality, which is glorified as a hero in Bollywood movies. So if you are there, you show me. The Lord is not obliged to say that, oh, bura lag gaya kya, aata hu. He will not say like that. Please trust me, I will come. At least please, but please, trust me. No, not like that. He will not come like that. He is not obliged. He will not come. He came only for Prahlad Maharaj. He did not come for Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu he could have killed even by his thought. He did not have to incarnate as Lord Nrsimhadev in such a unconventional form to tear him apart. In fact, Hiranyakashipu was anyway Jaya and Vijay, we know that. So we understand that these pastimes are nothing to do with, but then if one doesn't understand the flow of Srimad Bhagavatam, one will not understand the Lord's mood here. What's going on, nobody will understand. So we will not understand till we understand the whole entire picture. So Govind Prabhu also tells in one lecture, he says that Madhvacharya had given Tatparya Nirnaya, which is the ultimate word for any reconciliation of any apparent contradictions that will arise in the scriptures, right? So for us that is what Srimad Bhagavatam and the purports of our Acharyas, they will help us reconcile with any apparent contradictions that we may see in the scriptures. Like that.
What is Tatparya Nirnaya?
Sorry?
What is Tatparya Nirnaya?
Tatparya Nirnaya means the ultimate conclusion. Nirnaya means conclusion of the philosophy. You are at Tatparya Nirnaya?
I know a little. It's on Mahabharata.
So if you read there, that is where I think all those pastimes are given. Who was really Ekalavya? Otherwise everyone is sympathizing with that fellow. Putla Banake, he has made Drona the guru and then he asked for his finger. So they didn't know what a demonic personality he was, Ekalavya. Neither do we know that Karna was Sahastra Kavach in the previous lifetime. So all those things we will never know. What we are only seeing is through the lens of one lifetime of that person. And then we are saying this is a good person, bad person. We label, but we don't know who that person is. So it requires a broader picture. Okay, so Prabhupada is saying that the Lord revealed himself only for the pleasure of Prahlad Maharaj, not for any other reason. Because he likes to be Bhakta Vatsala to his devotees. This is the last paragraph. Who was reading? Continue.
In the Brahma Samhita 5.35, it is said that Govinda, the primeval Lord, enters everything by his plenary portion. He enters the universe as well as all the atoms of the universe. He is outside in his Virat form and he is within everything as Antaryami. As Antaryami, he witnesses everything that is going on and he awards us the results of our actions as karma phala. We ourselves may forget what we have done in previous lives, but because the Lord witnesses our actions, the results of our actions are always there. And we have to undergo the reactions nonetheless.
Okay, this is another place where we can understand about karma. We are only seeing from the lens of our present life. But when we see in the point of a continuum, then everything will make sense. But we will not understand that continuum. Therefore, it is simply better to accept what Lord has ordained for us. Prabhu,
The fact is that there is nothing but God within and without. Everything is a manifestation of His different energies, like the heat and light emanating from the fire, and in this way there is a oneness among His diverse energies. Although there is oneness, however, the Lord in His personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasures enjoyed minutely by the tiny part and parcel living entities.
Okay, so the Srimad Bhagavatam, Chatushlokis, has got a interesting verse, 2.9.35. 2.9.35 over there. It is, no, the next one. Yatha mahanti bhutani bhuteshu chavacheshvanu pravisthani apravisthani tatha teshu na teshu aham. I am inside everything and I am outside my pravishtha. Pravishtha means what?
Entering.
I am entering everything as well as I am remaining aloof from everything. Right? So the Lord is saying like that. Okay, so He is inside every manifestation, at the same time He is outside every manifestation. So why He is doing that? Because for the material world to run, He has to be inside every atomic particle, because that is how the atoms, that is how the power comes within an atom, which scientists cannot explain. They can discover, but they can't explain. Right? We can discover so many things. There is an energy field here, looks like. But where is that coming from? Nobody will know. Or they may say, the source of this energy field is this. But where did that come from? If you go like that, there is a point when nobody can explain anything. Right? And that is Krishna's energy. That is where it ends. The scientific inquiry ends there. And then the realm of faith begins from that point on. So the Lord is inside everything, which is what keeps the whole world moving. To the atheistic people, then He shows what is called as the Virat Roop, because the atheist is not qualified. The eyes are not anointed with the salve of devotion. Therefore, the atheists cannot see the Lord. Right? So therefore, the Lord shows them a form called as the Virat Roop, to understand that, look, I am the controller. But the Virat Roop is not a eternal form of the Lord. It is only shown to bewilder the atheists, which we studied in Bhagavad Gita also, when we studied. Okay, so He can show that Roop also. Then to the pure devotee He shows the form of Shyam Sundar. And for a devotee who has knowledge of the Godhood of Godhead, he doesn't show the form of Shyam Sundar, where rather he shows the 400 Vaikuntha form, like that. Although there is oneness, however, the Lord in His personal form still enjoys unlimitedly all the pleasures enjoyed minutely by the tiny part and parcel living entities. That's because the Lord is Akhila Rasamrita Murti. So, somewhere, I don't know whether in this paragraph or the next mantra it is written that the Lord actually experiences the emotions of His devotee. So, we experience all the happiness that His devotee experiences, because He is within all of us as Paramatma. So we'll do one thing, we'll read mantra 6 also, so that we keep to the agenda. Mantra 6. Okay, I'll read the translation. Okay, keep the children quiet, just 10-15 more minutes. Actually 10 more minutes. Okay. He who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, please hear carefully. He who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his part and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being. So, who is the fastest leader here? You want to try? Yeah. Okay,
This is a description of Bhagavad, the great personality who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord's presence is realized in 3 stages. The Kanishta Adhikari is the lowest stage of realization. He goes to the place of worship such as a temple, church or mosque, according to his religious faith, and worships there according to the scriptural injunctions. Devotees in this stage consider the Lord to be present at the place of worship and nowhere else. They cannot ascertain who is in what position in devotional service, nor can they tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. Such devotees follow the routine formulas and sometimes quarrel among themselves, considering one type of devotion better than another. These Kanishta Adhikaris are actually materialistic devotees who are simply trying to transcend the material boundary to reach the spiritual plane. Those who have attained the second stage of realization are called Madhya Adhikaris. These devotees observe the distinctions between 4 categories of being: the Supreme Lord, the devotees of the Lord, the innocent who has no knowledge of the Lord, and the atheists who have no faith in the Lord and hate those in devotional service. The Madhyam Adhikari behaves differently towards these 4 classes of person. He adores the Lord, considering him the object of love. He makes friends with those who are in devotional service. He tries to awaken the dormant love of God in the hearts of the innocent, and he avoids the atheists who deride the very name of the Lord. Above the Madhyam Adhikari is the Uttama Adhikari, who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee does not discriminate between the atheist and the theist, but sees everyone as part and parcel of God. He knows that there is no essential difference between a vastly learned Brahmana and a dog in the street, because both of them are part and parcel of the Lord. Although they are engaged in different bodies on account of the different qualities of their activities in their previous lives, he sees that the Brahmana particle of the Supreme Lord has not misused his little independence given him by the Lord, and that the dog particle has misused his independence and is therefore being punished by the laws of nature by being engaged in the form of a dog. Not considering the respective actions of the Brahmana and the dog, the Uttamadhikari tries to do good to both. Such a learned devotee is not misled by material bodies, but is attracted by the spiritual spark within them. Those who imitate an Uttamadhikari by flaunting a sense of oneness or fellowship, but who behave on the bodily platform, are actually false philanthropists. The conception of universal brotherhood must be learned from an Uttamadhikari and not from a foolish person who does not properly understand the individual soul of the Supreme Lord's super soul expansion, who dwells everywhere. It is clearly mentioned in the 6th mantra that one should observe or systematically see. This means that one must follow the previous acharyas, the perfected teachers. Anupashyati is the exact Sanskrit word used in this connection. Anu means to follow and Pashyati means to observe. Thus the word Anupashyati means that one should not see things as he does with a naked eye, but should follow the previous acharyas. Due to material defects, the naked eye cannot see anything properly. One cannot see properly unless one has heard from a superior source. And the highest source is the Vedic wisdom, which is spoken by the Lord himself. Vedic truths are coming in disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyasa, and from Vyasa to many of his disciples. Formerly, there was no need to record the message of the Vedas because people in earlier ages were more intelligent and had sharper memories. They could follow the instructions simply by hearing once from the mouth of a bona fide spiritual master. At present, there are many commentaries on the revealed scriptures, but most of them are not in the line of disciplic succession. Coming from Srila Vyasadeva, who originally compiled the Vedic wisdom, the final, most perfect and sublime work, by Srila Vyasadeva is Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the natural commentary of the Vedanta Sutra. There is also Bhagavad Gita, which was spoken by the Lord himself and recorded by Vyasadeva. These are the most important revealed scriptures, and any commentary that contradicts the principles of Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam is unauthorized. There is complete agreement among the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Vedas, Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, and no one should try to reach any conclusion about the Vedas without receiving instructions from the members of Vyasadeva's disciplic succession, who believe in the personality of Godhead and His diverse energies as they are explained in Sri Isopanisad. According to Bhagavad Gita 18.54, only one who is already on the liberated platform, Brahmabhuta, can become a Uttamadhikari devotee and see every living being as his own brother. This vision cannot be had by politicians who are always after some material gain. One who imitates the symptoms of an Uttamadhikari may serve another's outward body for the purpose of fame or material reward, but he does not serve the spirit soul. Such an imitator can have no information of the spiritual world. The Uttamadhikari sees the spirit soul within the material body and serves him as spirit. Thus, the material aspect is automatically served.
Okay, so this is not something new that we have heard. We have studied this in depth in Bhagavad Gita as well as Nectar of Instruction as well as in Nectar of Devotion. So the context what Prabhupada is giving is, he who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Who is that person who can systematically see everything in relation to Supreme Lord? Such a person is called as a Uttamadhikari. Who can see all living entities as the part and parcels of the Lord? Uttamadhikari. Okay. And who sees the Supreme Lord within everything and never hates anyone or anything? Uttamadhikari. So Prabhupada, this whole verse is about Uttamadhikari. So Prabhupada is saying that there are three types of devotees, the Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttama. The Kanishta Adhikari, what are the two parameters on which they are judged? Faith. Very good. Faith and knowledge. So if you put a, what is that? Graph. Yeah. So on one side is faith, the other side is knowledge. Faith and knowledge both are low for a Kanishta Adhikari. For a Madhyamadhikari, the Madhyamadhikari has got a high degree of faith, but he may fall short of knowledge. Right? Right? So for such a person, so because the Kanishta Adhikari has got lot of Kanishta Adhikari is low on faith as well as knowledge. Because the Kanishta Adhikari has poor knowledge, he only has knowledge about God. He doesn't have any knowledge about how God can be pleased. He says everyone serving the Lord, but he doesn't understand that many people that the serving the Lord is in the mood of servant. So he doesn't realize the dynamics between a devotee. He says that I'll come to the Lord, I'll come to the temple, I'll just do something for the Lord, I'll put something in the hundi and I'll just pray and I'll go. I'll not interact with any devotee. This is called as a neophyte mentality. Okay? Because a neophyte devotee, what is one symptom of a neophyte devotee? A neophyte devotee struggles in his or her relationships with other devotees. That is the symptom of a neophyte. Therefore, Gauram Prabhu says neophyte means always fight. Right? He says in that, I don't know which lecture was that, but neophyte is always fighting. So that is, sorry? Prabhupada said that. Okay, I think I heard from Gauram Prabhu. So therefore, so a Kanishta Adhikari does not recognize the devotees. A Kanishta Adhikari cannot discern who is an advanced devotee and who is not an advanced devotee. So he deals with everyone on the same platform. We discussed examples of that. Somebody may go and say, Maharaj, ek photo lete hai na saath mein aisa. So you don't deal with acharyas like this, so casually. Right? Right? So they don't know how to deal with, how to maintain the distance between someone who is highly spiritually realized and to derive the maximum realizations from them. So dealing too casually. And occasionally the Kanishta will fight with various devotees in the temple. And the Kanishta has got nothing to do with the devotees. He says, अच्छा सेवा करना है क्या भगवान का, बस उसके लिए मंदिर में आता हूँ. ये लोग के साथ नहीं बात करना है मुझे, किसी के साथ. So that is, and they think they are very advanced in their consciousness. But actually, that is a sign of a new devotee. Without relationship with devotees, he cannot reach God. Because Bhagavan will test our false ego only with respect to our interactions with other devotees. Otherwise, there is no test of our false ego. Isn't it? So we have to always understand. So whenever these tussles come, then we understand that Lord is now arranging for us. He has given us a unit test or an exam which we have to pass and go. So clear that and then go to the next stage. Like that. Madhyamadhikari is one who knows how to distinguish between who is advanced and who is not. Prema, Maitri, Kripa, Upeksha. We have already discussed that many times. He loves the Lord. He does friendship with other devotees. He gives his association and preaches to devotees who are not as advanced as him, who are under his shelter, and he keeps away from those devotees who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. So that is the quality of a Madhyamadhikari. Whereas an Uttamadhikari, he does not see any difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. So he goes ahead and gives Krishna consciousness unconditionally to anyone and everyone. I remember last weekend I had given Nityananda Trayodashi morning class, Bhagavatam class in the temple. So in the class I was talking about how Lord Nityananda gave the mercy of Krishna unconditionally to everyone. So at the end of the class, our Pushpinder Prabhu came and asked a very interesting question. So he said that, Prabhu, aapne bola ki, giving Krishna unconditionally to everyone, that is what Lord Nityananda. But then how do we reconcile when in the 10 offenses to the holy name, it is written that one should not preach to the faithless. How do we reconcile? So that was his question. How do we reconcile? By applying this knowledge. Because Lord Nityananda is, we cannot even call him Uttamadhikari. Lord Nityananda is the source of Uttamadhikaris. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But hypothetically, in his role as Guru, he played the role of Uttamadhikari. And Uttamadhikari is the one who need not discriminate. Because an Uttamadhikari's faith is not shaken when he deals with rogues, thieves, drug addicts, right? And sex mongers. Whereas when a person who is not an Uttamadhikari goes and tries this, then such a person is susceptible to contamination from the outside. Unless you are an expert kabaddi player, don't enter the enemy's camp, because rather than bringing them here, you will go there. So, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, many times these pastimes have been told. Like Kala Krishna Das, for example. He went and he got attracted with the Bhattahari. Then he had to be pulled back. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, he came back like that. Okay. So therefore, we have to still be very careful in who we preach to. Whereas Uttamadhikari need not be. So because an Uttamadhikari sees everyone on the same platform. So Uttamadhikari is someone who is completely under the protection of the Lord. So there is no chance of fall down. Prabhupada also said, I can stay in a room full of naked women and I will not be agitated, but you will be. Prabhupada said. So that this is the state of an Uttamadhikari. Because when he sees this, if he is kept in such an environment, he only sees souls which are struggling in the material world, right? And that is a very high platform to see like that. To see everyone as spirit soul, which is beyond any boundaries of gender or bodily designations, right? So till we come to that platform, then we come. So here Prabhupada is saying that these are the people who are Uttamadhikaris. So only such an Uttamadhikari can see everything in relation to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada, when he was offered money, Prabhupada said, I am not going to reject money like the other Mayavadis do. Right? I am going to accept everything, because he didn't see money as a chance for him to fall down. Neither did he see money as something which will make him fall down. Prabhupada saw everything in relation to Krishna. So he didn't see anything as material at all. That is that verse. Rite ritam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta cha atmani. The second verse, Chatushloki of Srimad Bhagavatam. Anything is material only if it is seen not in connection with the Lord. So Prabhupada saw everything in connection with the Lord, whether it be money or anything. In fact, there was one Mayavadi newsletter also. You remember I told this in the class before? Yeah. Somebody from Mayavadi had come and did a newsletter, and devotees are going to throw it. Prabhupada said, don't throw it. We'll use it to pack halwas on top of them, prasadam, and give everyone. So Prabhupada used that also in the service of the Lord. So that is the stage of Uttamadhikari. So these three are, once again, the scriptures are coming in, giving us the differences between these three levels of devotees. So we'll continue on. Mantra 7 and 8 we will finish in the next class.